Well, I'm Donald. I'm 18 years old. I go to Mountain View High School, and
I'm Martise, 18. I attend Mountain View High School.
I'm Shaylin Cummings, and I'm 18 and also attend Mountain View High School.
I'm Bryce Shoemate. I'm 18 and I attend Mountain View High School.
Yep.
This May.
Yes.
well, I'm just gonna go for like the super technical version. You guys can explain it further.
Yeah.
Tell them what HISTA stands for.
Yeah, so it's an acronym for Health Science Technology Academy. It's a program that starts to recruit 8th graders, incoming freshmen in high school, to kind of put them in the health science field. But I'm going to let you guys elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yeah, HISTA in its entirety is one of the 3 trio programs that are offered to us students in our freshman year, well, technically 8th grade year, transitioning into our freshman year, and we are able to join HISTA at that point. It is a community service-based organization, and we perform community service in our community as well as create projects every year in the aims of improving our community.
$75 hours?
75.
Yeah, 75.
So 75, community hours in total. Half of them have to be medical.
At least.
At least half of
You
them
can
have to
have
be
more.
medical. Yeah. So, and yeah, I mean, you're responsible for keeping up with your hours, seeking out the opportunities to go gain those hours of service. And if you lose them, you have to start over. So that's always a pain. Really, it throws you into the community, kind of throws you at the forefront and makes you look, what is the problem here? Who is it affecting? How can I help?
Tammy,
Yeah, I want to say
what's the
3.5.
GPA we have to maintain?
2.5 and 3.0? Yeah.
3.0.
So,
Okay.
when you're starting out in HISTA, you are welcomed with the gracious chance to fall below a 3.5, 3.0, and maintain a 2.5 or higher. After, sophomore to senior year, you have to keep a 3.0 or higher, or else you go on probation.
So each year we conduct a research project for the entirety of the school year, and at the end of the year, once we finished off our research and our interventions or experiments, we present them to a board of judges as what's known as the symposium. And each year, we have to do that each year, and for us to be eligible for the HISTA waiver, we have to pass all 4 years as well as meet other criteria.
Yeah.
Yes. So was it 3 of us? 3 of us are Marshall, 1's WVU.
No.
No.
Oh,
So
so
you have
there's-
half and half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
half
there's
and
2
half.
Marshall, 1 WVU, and 1 WVU Tech.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I'm a big schooling person. I like a lot of things. So right now I'm pursuing pharmaceutical sciences, but I could easily switch to like psychology, education. I have a wide range of things I'm interested in.
I'm going to Marshall to get my bachelor's in pharmaceutical sciences and eventually my doctorate in pharmaceutical sciences, and I might double major in molecular biology because I did a summer program at Oak Ridge National Laboratory working on the applications of vanadium dioxide. Don't worry about what that means, but I worked along with that, and it got me really interested in molecular biology. So I want to eventually establish a pharmaceutical company down in the southern part of West Virginia, contributing to McDowell County specifically, and I want to become a benefactor for McDowell County later in my life.
I plan to attend WVU Tech, and I want to major in civil engineering, and I want a minor in business.
I'll be attending West Virginia University next year to earn my bachelor's in accounting, to lead into my master's for accounting, to lead into my CPAs.
So today we met with just some personnel from Google, and they came here to.
As well as Leaders Quest.
Oh yes,
As well
and
as
Leaders Quest, and they came here to kind of hear about McDowell County and HISTA, and kind of see how things operated. So we met and we talked about, kind of what Google's up to, what HISTA's up to, what HISTA's all about, and just us in general, our future plans, our intentions,
Our community.
our community,
Where we come from, what
where
makes
we
us
come
basically.
from.
yeah, what
who we
makes
are.
us who we are, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a very negative connotation for this area. So there's a lot of people trying to see why that there's such a negative energy associated with the area. And many of them are also trying to help improve the area as a whole and the idea associated with them.
Yeah, I think it plays in part with them wanting to understand, per se, what happens with HISTA and McDowell County in general because of the things that you hear about McDowell County. So, like stereotypes specifically, I think they came down here for that specific reason, and they came and talked to us because we're on our way out of high school. We're about to begin the next part of our lives, and they wanted to see what we think about who we are now and what we plan to do, and they wanted to see where we're going to go with our ideas and maybe if we'll come back.
So definitely in my travels, I've definitely seen people that have this idea that people from McDowell County are uneducated, just in their words, hillbilly nobodies. That's an actual quote. So when when I travel out of the county, everyone's like, okay, you don't have the accent that I thought you'd have. You don't act the way I thought you would.
Or you're too tall to be from McDowell
Yeah, you're
County.
too tall to be from McDowell
Things
County.
like that.
So
Or can I touch your hair?
Yeah, or
things
can I
like
touch your
that.
Or we're not represented
No.
appropriately.
appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
people talk very negatively about us until they come here and see what it's actually like.
Yeah.
Even to documentaries made here, we're
Yes.
not. We're giving off to be
Yeah, they're
poor and in need of everything when we're actually
very strong,
in together.
prideful people.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that people think about McDowell County that, they've never been here. It's just what they hear. Part of that's the media. People come in here, they highlight the drug epidemics, they highlight overdose rates, they highlight, shootings, stuff like that. They highlight all the crime and the negative aura that, certain events can give off. But it's West Virginia. We have mountains and we have valleys. And, people, they like to focus on the valleys and they don't look at the mountaintops at all. So, you're missing a good portion of what the state's all about. You're missing the really bright youth who's, struggling against poverty to make a difference in the world, make good by themselves. You're missing the really good people coming in and helping people in need. You're missing people fighting for what they need, like the teacher strike that happened here, earlier in the year, in February. You're missing a lot of positive things that you don't really see, in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the positive, that's not being presented, is kind of being buried by the negative that's being presented and spoon-fed.
Yeah. To go along with that, I think the biggest generalized stereotype of McDowell County, in my opinion, when people think of McDowell County, when they first hear about it, they think last place. They're like, oh, they're last place in education. The only thing they are first place in are overdose rates and the opioid epidemic. They don't want to do anything to better themselves. And frankly, that's not really true. The youth in McDowell County, we actively pursue opportunities to tear down these stereotypes and to present ourselves and to compete on the levels of other individuals within the state as a whole and within other states and even internationally. So, it just doesn't do the state justice the way people talk about it. So
There are so many people that come in wanting to do documentaries or trying to help us on the sole fact that they believe that we need their help. We don't need nor want their help. We only want to have the same opportunities given to everybody else.
mm-hmm.
Right.
We don't want to be held above or below anyone. We want to be held on the same plane.
as a personal experience, just from my experience, I had the pleasure of being taught by a wonderful teacher, and he had to leave earlier in the year due to circumstances. So he felt bad that he was leaving without much of a warning, and he still stays in contact with his class to this day. He's okay, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not there for you in person. Do you guys need any resources to do a project with? Do you need help finding references? He's really on top of getting students the assistance they need with the course that he left behind, and I really feel like that doesn't happen everywhere. You don't have that sense of your teachers genuinely caring about you to the degree.
On a personal
yeah, on a personal level. Like
they want us to succeed and they want to push us.
Yeah, exactly. We have students here that they have they have financial issues.
And it goes both ways with the teachers and the students, because not too long ago, one of our teachers had a son, and he had birth complications, and he might not have survived. So what happened is the school raised money for an operation for their child to survive, and now he's a really cool kid. I love him. He's happy, healthy, and he's living his life like a normal kid now. Yeah. And that's all thanks to the students in the school and the community for coming together to support that.
Yeah, it definitely spreads out of the school too. Like the whole community is together like this. The students, we do get support from our teachers, and it's so valuable. And the students support them right back, especially with the teacher strikes that happen. You had students that were right there on the picket line with them.
We had teachers going out of
their
their own pockets to give people food, taking time out of their day to actually make sure kids have what they needed at home, even though we had no school.
Yeah. So the teachers take care of the students, and students take care of the teachers, and that whole positive loop spreads out to the entire community. It's definitely a rare occurrence from at least where I've been.
See, and here you build those types of relationships to where you know them on a personal level. I know in other places you don't know anything other than maybe what college they went to, what they teach, and what their last name is.
That's like throughout the whole community though, because even stepping out of your door, you can have 50 people drive by and wave at you, and you can go down the street and then you know everybody's name, and you can say help, and then everybody comes running because.
Especially when it comes to teachers, you know who they are, who they're married to, who some of their kids are,
what their favorite
food
is,
to, what
their
they
allergies.
like to do.
They might even invite you over.
There have been times that teachers have invited me over, like
just for
dinner, for a family dinner.
Yeah. So the teachers here, they definitely do really care about the students, and that's a huge factor. But it does go every way in the community for sure.
You talked about
TV. That's like a TV type thing. In school, from being in a small town, we've all grew up together. So I've known these two since I was about 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I could probably tell you everything about him. I met Bryce my 7th grade year, and we've had every single class up till then. And he's probably like my best friend, even though he likes hunting, I like staying inside and doing nothing. It's like
It's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it plays mostly in part because of how small our community is. It does have its disadvantages, but the advantage that we gain from it is everybody. And everyone around us, they know you. So, I have my brother, that's a thing, but I know everybody in my graduating class, and that's not something everyone can say. I know most of their dislikes, their likes. I know what model car they drive. I know what they got in their trunks, man. I know their favorite foods, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Even to race, it's not even an issue.
Even the race.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the problems you have in other places, just people being outcast. It's not as big of an issue here. And a big part of that, in my opinion, is that we all share a similar background. We're all from, we all come from poverty. We all have our own struggles, and everyone understands that. So, you can't look at somebody and say, okay, I'm just going to exclude you because, you don't like football, oh yeah, you're into Star Wars or something, like that's so nerdy.
Yeah, I think it's quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah,
because
We're all
yeah,
nerds.
yeah.
Everyone's a nerd,
Everyone in
yeah.
the school encourages everyone else to mingle with each other at least like 2 times a day.
At least in some type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely it's, in my opinion, the sense of togetherness that you get here.
Yeah, the people that
Um,
do come back don't come back for the material things.
Yeah.
And while we're not rich with material, we are very rich in the people. People are our greatest asset here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's why people come back. You know, the people that don't value relationships are the ones that leave. Or the ones that leave simply can't provide themselves with a future here.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the negative image associated with the area.
Yeah.
So, like going back to that, I think McDowell County pulls people back. Well, specifically, I think it pulls people back because you grow up with very little, and you learn to appreciate what you have and what you come out of McDowell County with. Because what I'm coming out of here with, I'm coming out with a strong sense of family. I'm coming out with an appreciation for those around me, and I'm coming out with people who truly understand who I am and people who value who I am as a person. And it's something you just can't get anywhere else, and I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Because, like, poverty has its disadvantages, the area has its disadvantages, but it makes you strong. The area really does make you strong. And I want to come back, and I want to help out this place because I think McDowell County, because it's my home, I think of it as my home, and it always will be. And it's a shame that we're taught, like even if not verbally said, it's implied through our schooling system, hey, to be successful, you got to leave, you got to go to like California or go abroad, and you got to make those Mondo dollars, man. You got to make those Mondo dollars.
Even though we're like about to leave in 28 days, 22
Yeah.
days. I've been thinking about coming back since I've been in 8th grade.
Yeah.
But only because I know that, if like all of us in here, we have the responsibility of going out and making something of ourselves and representing where we come from and actually coming back and making the place better. Because like as you said earlier, everybody wants to leave,
Yeah.
but nobody wants to put in the work to actually come back and bring McDowell County back up
Yeah.
and West Virginia as a whole.
Yeah.
A really good example about the family sense here is there was one time I was walking down the street with a few of my friends, and there was a family having a family cookout, and they saw us walking. They had no idea who they were. They invited us over, and we sat there for 30 minutes eating with them like we were their family.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely the community is a really strong reason to come back. For me, it's the strongest reason. I mean, you're kind of homegrown here, and you have a sense of pride for where you come from. You know, it's definitely weird. You know, when you travel, you know, you're used to seeing. Like, I literally live on a mountain. You drive in between mountains. You go to anywhere else, oh wow, it's flat for miles. Weird. So, you know, maybe it's just what I'm used to. But the people here are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's untapped potential
Yeah.
everywhere.
And
Honestly.
wanting to come back, it's just, it plays into how we don't really have, there aren't many opportunities here.
The nearest mall's an hour away.
Yeah, like the nearest mall's an hour away. There's not a lot of opportunities here. So I think it plays in part of people not providing those opportunities to the youth and exposing us to those. So I think of it as, if it hasn't happened for us, when is it going to start? And I think it's our chance to start that.
It's our responsibility to actually start it.
Start it, yeah. Like,
Exactly.
if change won't start for us, we got to be the ones to start it.
Yeah.
So it comes in general, like, sure, I have to leave for college, but you better believe I'm going to come back and make this place what I think it deserves to be.
I'm going to college just to make sure that we get where we need to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, the people here are fantastic. You know, they don't have, you know, things that other people have. You know, some people don't have, you know, cell phones. Some people don't have the best shoes. Some people need to struggle just to put food on the table. And, you know, those challenges, they really carve you into what you see today. You know, people are the product of the adversities that they face, whether they've crumbled under the weight of those challenges, or they've, you know, lifted the boulder off their shoulders, or if they've been, you know, given the opportunity to do that. People here are fighters. They definitely, you know, no matter what they face, no matter what challenges they face, they really can get over it. And I can't say that for a lot of people. A lot of people don't have the advantages that everybody else has, and they've fought against those odds and made something of themselves. So that's what I have to say.
I would like to say that we're friendly. Come on down, come and see us. It's a beautiful place. But in all seriousness, the people down here, we do have our own struggles, but we also try our best to rise above those. And everyone makes an honest effort in their earnest to improve their lives however they can. Whether that's just by like saying, oh, my parents are struggling to feed me, I better get a job too, or I'm going to go to college and take care of my parents or my grandparents because they've done all they can for me, so it's the least I can do. So our environment is, in general, a really nice environment, even if it does have its challenges. And I think McDowell County brings out the best in people. I really do. So everyone's friendly. They all say hi. They all smile at you. They'll all wave to you on the street. Whereas somewhere like New York, you can just say hi to a random stranger and they'll be like, bro, who are you? Get away from me. So
True.
So.
I think what people need to know about us is we are very proud of where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
We don't always agree with the things that others have to say about us.
Mm-hmm.
We're one big family. No matter what differences that we have with each other, in the end, we'll work together to overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
No closing statement, Shane?